You're going to go out on the water with your family. You have to bring some tasty food with you, right?
Yes, you have to pack a picnic. Yeah, so we're going to actually show you throughout the show some delicious picnic foods that you can bring along. And here to share those easy recipes with us is personal chef Bill Collins from chefbill.com. Great action-packed show today, Bill.
It is. I'm dying to find out more about the river. I love the Connecticut River, and I love the foods that we have today.
I cannot wait to try them. What are we starting with?
We're starting with oven-fried chicken. So you don't want to bring an oven out by the river with you.
Why not?
Well, it's a little, you need a heck of an extension cord. But the great thing is that all of these prepare ahead. You can have them cold, you can have them room temperature, so you don't have to worry about any of that. Just pack up the picnic and go.
Great.
So I'm going to be starting with an oven-fried chicken. And all of the food today, particularly the drumsticks and everything, is from our friends at Whole Foods in Hadley. And oven-fried chicken, it's a classic. And what I like to do is, and actually I was always a family favorite when I was growing up, cornflakes. Now you can buy cornflake crumbs. However, I like going with the classic cornflakes, because I like having the different texture, not a smooth texture. I like having the different bumpy things in there. And this is also a takeoff on the classic, if you can call it a classic, shake and bake from when you were a kid.
Well, are we going to shake it and then bake it?
We are.
So yeah,
it's exactly what it is.
Shake and bake.
But apparently my mother invented it, or not. So what we have here is I've got garlic powder, I've got onion powder, I've got paprika, I've got salt, and a little bit of pepper. That's all that goes in there.
Easy.
So all I did was when I broke up, why thank you, when I broke up the cornflakes, I just used a rolling pin, put them in a Ziploc bag, and off we went. So I just really kind of shaking this up here, just kind of mixing everything up.
Okay.
And that's it. And now I like to throw in maybe 2 drumsticks at a time.
You just get them real well coated.
That's exactly it. And you know, and I just realized in my excitement to go on the air, these are going to be funny, I forgot to put the coating of oil on here.
Well,
and that's what makes them stick. Oh, because
I think it's doing pretty good, though.
I think it is doing pretty good. We've just invented a new thing here.
It's even healthier now. It's oil-free.
It is healthier, because actually there are 2 ways that I recommend doing it in the recipe that's on the My Mass Appeal website. Look how that was sticking.
Wow, you shouldn't have said anything.
I shouldn't have said anything. And that is either roll around just a little bit of oil, canola oil or olive oil, whichever you prefer, or maybe a couple hours before, put it in some milk. Pierce the skin a bit with a paring knife. Let it just sit in milk for a couple of hours. But I usually go with a little bit of oil, just a minor. You can use Pam spray if you want.
So milk, is that because of the fat that it'll help it to stick? Why milk and not water?
It's funny, I never considered water. I think there's probably the properties of milk, and it's not quite the fat, but it's one of those great things. For instance, if you're doing a classic deep frying, the coating, you've got milk, you've got egg, you've got breadcrumbs. I think milk has the capability, and water is just a liquid.
Right.
So, but look how that just stuck. I'm just amazed.
I'm pretty impressed. So now we pop these in the oven, that's it?
Pop them in the oven, 375. It'll take about 40 minutes, 35, 40 minutes.
I'm always nervous. How do you know when they're done? Because they're different lengths and different thicknesses.
You're right. You've got a couple of things going on. You've got the bone up the middle, and that changes everything because it's going to take longer. And you're right. It's thicker at one end, and it's also very dense. And drumsticks are very thick. I want to back up for a moment and say I like going with drumsticks for this because for a picnic, there's nothing more classic than hanging onto a drumstick.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
But to get back to your question, I just use an instant read thermometer.
Okay.
However, if you don't happen to have one, just put a paring knife in after a while and put a little cut in the back and just see if it's cooked down all the way to the bone.
Okay.
You don't want any pink to show up there. And so now, once you've cooked this, take it out of the oven, take it off of the pan, put it on a plate or something so it'll cool down a little bit faster, bring it to room temperature, which will happen quickly, pop it in the fridge, and so it'll be nice and chilled for when you're sitting out there by the Connecticut River.
Sounds
Very
good.
nice, really easy. And look, you don't even need oil.
Apparently you don't need oil or milk.
Just shake it and bake it.
Yes.
And then that's step 1. Then we're going to do a lot more on the show
We've
today.
got a lot more things. We're going to be doing so many things, everything, almost from soup to nuts. No soup, but we're going to do the whole menu so you can have everything you want by the river.
There's neither soup nor nuts today, but it's everything in between.
Yes.
We got pesto and more. In the meantime,
I know, but now you can go and sit by the river and know some of these fast facts while enjoying your delicious picnic food.
with personal chef Bill Collins.
Yep, we're all set. We're going to do 2 things right now. We're going to do a classic bruschetta, which is an Italian tomato salad. We're going to have it on toast points for the picnic, and also a pesto. And most pestos, traditionally, it's basil and it's garlic and olive oil. But in this case, sometimes it can be a little bit bitter if you wait a little too long to pick the basil, or you've got all kinds of other greens around. So we're going to be doing a pesto with all kinds of other things that might be hanging around in your garden. So the first thing you want to do is pop in, I just happen to have a couple leaves in there, that's fine. Pop the garlic in and chop that up first.
Leaves of basil?
Yep, some basils, yep. It was just, they were just loitering in there. So, but that's fine. But now I've got some basil here. And I'm going to throw some in.
Now, why garlic first? Is that just you, or?
That is me, but
Okay.
also, if there's, that's a rule of thumb that I have. If I'm making something in a food processor and it's got garlic in it or onions or something and the other things going in there, I think it chops better and you get more of a cut, because otherwise it starts to get mixed up in there, especially if there's a cream cheese or something in there. Not
Yeah,
that there's
you're
cream
right.
cheese and pesto. So this way you get all the choppables done.
Great idea.
So I've got some basil in there. I also put some parsley in there, and I've got some kale here as well. So it just comes right off
You know
the
what's
stalk
nice?
like that.
This is one of those things like, hey, you're trying to clean out the fridge. Now you can turn anything into pesto.
Exactly, and that's really kind of a key thing, because well, it's traditionally, as I said, basil, anything can go in here, because the key flavors you're going to have coming up in here are pine nuts if you want, but you've got great Parmesan cheese and olive oil and all those things.
And it's also really healthy to add all those other greens in there too.
It really is. Now, one other thing, a lot of people, there are three ways, vessels, things you can use to make your pesto. One, if you have no electricity, you can use a mortar and pestle. Mortar and pestle, not mortal, that's fatal. Or you can use a food processor or a blender.
Okay.
A lot of people recommend using a blender. My preference actually is a food processor. Blender, I don't have the patience for blender, because you have so little liquid in there, you're always trying to get everything down towards the blade.
Oh,
Right.
that's true.
So I'm more partial to going with the food processor.
But if you don't have one, you can use a blender.
Oh, absolutely. Now, hear that how the sound just changed on that real quickly. And so that's the oil incorporating in there. So now, just some freshly grated Parmesan.
To go right in there.
Has to be freshly grated, nothing from the shaky can, right?
That's
No?
right. Shaky can is bad. You don't want to do a shaky can on River Day. That's my motto.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're going to Connecticut River,
Yep.
it's expensive
Fresh
Parmesan
and
cheese
local.
time.
Yes. So toss some of that in there. A little bit of salt. You don't want to put in too much just yet, because some Parmesans can be saltier than others.
true.
So you just want to give that a bit of a spin of some freshly ground pepper, and give that a stir around. Now, you'll notice I did not put any pine nuts in. That's because I left them in my bin over there. However, one of the great things, though, about a pesto is there's so many people with nut allergies, and if you're serving a crowd, skip it all together. If it's just a tree nut allergy, you can go with peanuts. There's so many things you can put in there because it adds a nice crunch to it, but you don't have to have it.
And I think too, pine nuts are very expensive. So if you're also on a budget, you don't have to put them in. Don't feel like you can't have pesto because you can't get the pine nuts.
I'm so glad you said that. I was thinking that earlier, and that's so true, because pine nuts can be very expensive, and walnuts and other nuts, not so much. So that's a great way to go. So now, we've
So
got
I'm
this.
glad you left them in the bin.
Exactly. So now, since I don't have a spoon here either, it's perfect.
All right. Well, let's move on. We have about a minute left. To
A
make
minute
some
left.
bruschetta.
Well, this is great, because you'll see I've chopped up the tomato, but I've also put them in a strainer to get rid of the extra juice, because I'm adding more liquid to that. So I've got the tomatoes, I've got scallions, I've got garlic, and I've got just a little bit of balsamic vinegar.
And don't do too much because you can always add more later, right?
Yes, and I've got just a little bit of olive oil and a little bit more salt. Spin this around, and you're done.
Really?
And then when you go to serve it on your toast points, which we'll be doing later, you put a little basil on afterwards. And for your picnic, what I often suggest is don't just bring a little olive oil and balsamic with you, so it doesn't get all mushy and softer in there. So you've got all the drier ingredients, and then add the liquids on site at your picnic, and you're good to go. And so that's going to go on some terrific toast points. This is going to get mixed in with the pasta, and you've already got two of the great things for your picnic.
There we go. Easy pesto, easy bruschetta, and then you're going to go enjoy your time on the Connecticut River. Stick around, because you're going to be back, right? We have more.
We have more.
Excellent.
Thank you, Chef Bell. And ahead on that.
Whether we use the soil at the farmer's market to buy some food, or if we go rafting on the river, we use this Connecticut River almost every day. So I'm glad that I learned a whole lot about it today.
Amazing. Yes.
Right?
Now we're back in the kitchen to get ready for our picnic. We're back with personal chef Bill Collins from chefbill.com. We're two fans. We love having you here, Bill.
I love being here, and it's just so much fun. I mean, the food is always fun to make with you folks, but I also want to give it a shout out to a good friend and fan from Wilbraham, Connie, who has just been a big supporter of me. So I just want to give a Hi, Connie.
Hi, Connie.
Hey, Connie.
Thanks
So,
for watching.
Now, let's get to the piece de resistance. Are we ready? Cue the camera. Here we are. Here's our picnic basket.
Boom.
All packed up and ready to go.
These are all the great foods that we prepared today, with the exception of one, which I've got right here.
Okay, let's do that one
And
first
I'm
before
gonna
we
do this
unpack.
in no time at all. You see I've got the fancy glove on. This is an herb cheese, very similar to an herb cheese in a little green and white package you find in the supermarket.
I snuck a bite of yours. It is absolutely delicious.
Oh, it's great because all I've got here is some shallots, some garlic, some parsley, a little lemon juice, and it's done. And that's all you need to go in there, refrigerate it, and you're good to go.
Garlic, shallots, parsley, lemon juice.
Yep.
Cool.
And it's all set to go. So
And
that's
it congeals looks a little something like this when it's done.
exactly done. It's that fast,
Done.
that easy, and Ashley knows it's pretty good.
It is really good, and actually, you know, it's one of those things too. You pack it, and you can dip right in. You don't even have to take it out of the
Look at
container.
that. All she wants to do is eat it. Let's unpack the picnic basket just to remind everybody of what we made today. What's this?
That's the bruschetta. That's the classic tomato salad on top of the toast points, which we have some toast points in there.
We do, and everything is well packed. Well done, Chef Bill. Here are the toast points.
Thank you.
Ta-da. Hold on. Ta-da. There we
Ta-da.
go.
That's a good ta-da. So just put a little bit on top here.
Okay, so you recommend keeping it in glass as opposed to plastic for packing.
Well, if this is a romantic picnic for two, go with the glass. If you've got the kids there, I'm going to say go with plastic.
Right.
It's entirely how you want to run it. But when you've got, because also if you've got a family there, everybody throw everything in a cooler. But if you're going for the nice effect, because we've got a little bit of balsamic and olive oil there to finish off the bruschetta if you want, a really nice little citrus spritzer to go there. We've got the chicken and drumsticks. Let me serve one up here.
Okay. Now, how long would you say this can be out of refrigeration until it's not safe to eat?
I'm going to give you two answers. The general rule of thumb is food should not be out for more than 2 hours. If it's a hot day, I would go barely an hour. But and that's when you say, okay, leave this at home or bring this out from the car, but you want to have it in a cooler where it'll stay really cold, and you can go, then you go much, much longer than that. So that's the key thing.
Okay.
Now, lastly, we have this delicious-looking pasta. Take us through it.
This is the pesto that I made earlier, and not just a basil pesto. It's got kale in it, it's got parsley in it. In other words, everything either from your garden or you're going through and you're seeing great things on sale at the market, or left over in your fridge and you want to do something with just the little bits that's left over. You don't have to go just with a basil pesto. So you've got everything there. You've got the herb cheese, you've got the bruschetta, drumsticks, great to hang on to on a picnic, and the pesto.
I will invite you to be my picnic guest anytime,
Well, thank you. I'd be honored to be there.
provided that you bring all of this
Yeah, I
stuff.
guess I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is wonderful. Thanks so much, Chef Bill. I
Thank
can't wait
you.
to go on a picnic. And yesterday,